Today, I got a fun new toy. Huge thanks to Brad at Circle City. Oh, presentation's gorgeous. Black box. Look inside. Got a Circle City throw bag. Throw bags are awesome. I'm not sure where mine is right now. Found it. So Mark at Throwbags made me a custom throw bag with my Bad Wolf Co. logo on it. And keep my extra strings in here. Usually toss a couple yo-yos in here, and then a couple counterweights I made for 5A if I want to play around. But this, I love this, because the big throw bag is made to be big enough for like a kendama, several yo-yos. You know, you fit 4 or 5 yo-yos in here easy. Just here on the table I got 3 yo-yos. And they fit in there with plenty of room to spare. They fit into about there. So I could fit probably 2 more yo-yos on top. But I like the idea of the single pouch like this because A, it has a carabiner clip, zipper, very classy, hook it to your belt, but also it's just for a single yo-yo. So like, you know, this one, I love it, but I also try to put things in there like extra strings in between the yo-yos just to make sure they don't get dinged on each other in there, you know, getting thrown around in my backpack or things like that. So this is a nice way to keep a nice yo-yo protected. And so now the moment we've all been waiting for. Oh, it's beautiful. This is the Warbird. This is a prototype that Brad was kind enough to offer to send me, and it is gorgeous. This thing is a little smaller than I was expecting. He told me it was going to be a little small. Let's just hold up metalhead for comparison. So hard to see on camera, I guess, but the metalhead's a bit wider and a bit bigger in diameter too. Give me 1 second. I'm going to grab my Muse to compare as well. And so here is my Circle City Muse. It's a B grade, and I've already dinged up pretty nasty, but absolutely love this thing. This is so far my favorite yo-yo. It's kind of a wing shape, but it's also kind of organic feeling. It's very nicely curved, and it just fits in my hand perfectly. Very comfortable yo-yo, whereas like the metalhead is a lot more sharply pointed on the edges, you know, and it's not like it's sharp enough to hurt you or anything, but it's just slightly less comfortable, but a little more competition focused. And I'm not a competitive yo-yo, or at least not yet. I don't know if I ever will be, but I enjoy it a lot. And so for me, something like the Muse being very comfortable, very everyday carry kind of throw, absolutely love that. So now the Muse compared to the Warbird. Looks like the Muse has a slightly bigger diameter, maybe like 1 millimeter there. And then, okay, it's actually slightly bigger than the Warbird across, I don't know, not diameter, but whatever you call that. It's a little taller than the Warbird, maybe like 0.5 millimeter, not much of a difference. So these are fairly comparable in size. Now, of course, as you can see, the Muse has the spike for matador tricks and things like that, and I absolutely love that. That helped me a lot with learning to finger spin, because I could just, you know, instead of having to throw it, I could just do a spin like that, and that helped me learn how to bind, which of course I can't do on video. But you don't see me actually do tricks, check out my Instagram. But anyway, this is the Circle City Warbird prototype. Thank you very much to Brad for sending this out to me. Let's go ahead and compare shapes on these, just to kind of show what it looks like comparatively. So like the metalhead here, I'd call this like a V shape, I guess. I'm not 100% sure on what exactly makes a yo-yo a certain shape. I've seen examples, so that's kind of what I'm basing my judgment on. So somebody correct me if I'm wrong, because I would like to learn more about how yo-yos are shaped and stuff. Like the metalhead compared to the Warbird has more of a kind of H shape in there, but still very kind of V-shaped design also. I guess this would be called an H shape. And then comparatively, the Muse is much more organic shape compared to that. This one has the step inside there, and I really like that. Let's go ahead and open this guy up. So we've got a centering bearing like the one that's on the Muse. I love how it's so quiet when it first shows up. I have dogs, and so dog hair gets into my bearings, and so they get noisy after a while. But that looks like a nice little axle there, and it's got these kind of clear pads, which that's what's in the Muse as well, and I love the response on that. So of course part of that could be the Muse is the first yo-yo I bought. Cody at Lifeline Strings was kind enough to send me a Top Yo Impulse just because I said I was interested in learning to yo-yo, and I had collaborated with him to make the yo-yo holsters that were on his site. I actually have one right here. Absolutely love these. This is my own design. Just cinches up around the yo-yo. But anyway, so I'm gonna string this up. I'm thinking I've got a few different colors of Lifeline strings here, but I'm thinking I'm gonna go with the orange ones just because I think that would contrast nicely with the yellow. But I will string this up, do some tricks, and let you know what I think of it. All right, so I figured I was already filming for the World's Hero review, and I haven't finished the Warbird review yet. So let's talk about the Warbird. So I've had this a couple of days now, maybe a week, I can't remember. But I am absolutely loving this yo-yo. This might be my new favorite. Since it's a prototype, I'm not gonna be making it my everyday carry yo-yo or anything. Simply because I want to keep the prototype all nice, and so, you know, carry my Muse B grade. But this is absolutely fantastic feel to it. Looks gorgeous, and yeah, it feels, it's interesting because it's got a very competition ready kind of feel to it, with the shape of it being kind of wide to catch the strings, and got that kind of V or H shape to it. But at the same time, it's got that Circle City comfortable kind of feel. Like, that's kind of what I'm coming to realize and know Circle City for, is very comfortable yo-yos that just feel really nice when you're playing with them. But I mean, the very limited tricks that I know to throw at this thing, it can handle any of them. Let's see if I can get a thumb grind a little bit. I'm really bad at thumb grinds, but it definitely has a lip there that you can catch on to. And I was skeptical about whether it would be good for finger spins when I first got it, because it does have that dimple in there, but it's kind of rounded into the dimple. There's not like a lot to catch on to, but it actually does finger spin really well. And yeah, I'm really loving this thing. Let's see if I can do a little bit of something to make this a little bit flashier than just me standing here talking. So, and of course I missed the bind. I'm just having all kinds of trouble with binds today. But yeah, highly recommend this whenever it does come out. And again, huge thanks to Brad for sending me a prototype here. But I'm just absolutely loving this thing. It's just such a nice feel to it, and it's got a very different feel to it from anything I've tried so far. Like, you know, the Rain City Metalhead is a lot wider and a lot more sharp edges, as opposed to this one being rounded off. And then even comparing it to the other Circle City Yoyos, this one just has a much more compact feel to it. It's not really that much smaller, but it feels smaller because of the way it swoops in, whereas the others have more of a wing shape, so it's got a little bit more hefty feel in your hand. But this feels very powerful too. I mean, if we were measuring spin time, this thing could go pretty much forever, which is just fantastic. I mean, I've never played with a bimetal yo-yo, but I assume this is what a bimetal yo-yo feels like, just based on everything I've heard about them. Like, it's just such a great yo-yo, and I'm really absolutely loving this. Of course, I can't land tricks today for some reason, but if you want to see me land, I say this like every video clip, like, if you want to see me actually land tricks, go check out my Instagram, because that's where I've like thrown a yo-yo for 30 minutes straight to make sure that I have a good video for 10 seconds of me landing the trick that I'm trying to land. But yeah, anyway, definitely highly recommend the Warbird when it does come out. This thing is fantastic, and I'm not sure what the price point is going to be. I assume it'll be similar to the other Circle City Yo-Yos. They've all been right around the $60 price point, which is fantastic for what this is, in my opinion. I mean, I don't have a lot of experience with yo-yos. I own like 6 right now so far, but I can't imagine anything being better than this. Like, it's just really, really good. So yeah, definitely check it out. Check out Circle City Yoyos on Instagram and circlecityyoyos.com. And yeah, that's all I got. I don't have a good closing, so if anybody's got a good sign-off suggestion for me, hit me up.